Lindsey Stirling! Oh, I'm so excited to be here. This is the aerial of all our videos.
That's what I'm most known for.
Today we're going to get super real and super deep and talk about our insecurities.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's
because I think all girls have it. We just don't talk about it. What are some of your insecurities?
Oh man,
I know it's a really deep one, but just to start off the
put me on the spot.
I'm sorry,
on the hot seat.
Just gonna get into it.
Let's do this. I think some people would be very surprised when they hear what my insecurities are. My whole life I've been very insecure about body image. I think a lot of girls are, and also, I mean, I'm a professional violinist. I do it for a living. I do shows all across the world.
And you dance while you do it. Nobody does that.
That's true. It's
yeah,
true. That's my secret weapon. But I'm actually very insecure about my ability as a violinist. My playing. I know that's probably like not what you expected to hear. Also, even my like public speaking abilities make me so nervous when I have to speak.
I need to work on mine.
Really?
I don't know if you remember, but one of the first times I met Lindsey was at a Brit & Co event in San Francisco. Yes. We didn't know each other, but I had to do the keynote that day, and I spent like all night writing my speech, preparing the PowerPoint, and I completely failed.
Really?
Like, I did. Like afterwards, you didn't see me, but I walked outside and I just started crying. I was like, that is the worst thing of my life. So yes, I think I need to take some speech lessons.
It's one thing if you're like, I need to work on that, but it's an insecurity when you don't take lessons because you're just too afraid that you're gonna fail.
You know what's crazy? You're a professional violinist. You feel insecure about playing the violin. I am a professional fitness instructor and Pilates instructor, and I feel insecure about my fitness sometimes as well. I don't have a typical fitness instructor body. I don't have six-pack abs. I don't have like a big booty that's shaped like a peach emoji on your iPhone. People call me out for it.
Really?
And I think that...
Shame on them!
Shame on them!
I mean, how fascinating is that? Like, I didn't know that about you, and how fascinating is that what we are good at is what we're the most insecure about. Like, our gift is what we're the most insecure about.
But I think that's what makes us both so good at what we do, because we do see things that we want to try to improve. And I think that's the difference between insecurity and insecurity with a future, I guess.
With goals.
With goals.
With foresight.
Right, because like if you see something you don't like about yourself, but you're not going to do anything to change it, I think that's where the problem is.
Right.
And balance, I think, for both of us has been something that we've been struggling to achieve for a long time. You had anorexia, I had orthorexia, and I did a video on that. And I'm sorry guys, I haven't posted another video about my eating disorder, but I wanted to do this and talk to Lindsey about it because it's therapeutic when you talk to friends about issues that you've had.
Absolutely. Becoming super imbalanced in one area of life, you can only go so far before you start to realize I am missing out on every other aspect of my life because I put everything into this. And I was obsessed with being skinny and working out and limiting food, so much to the point where I did lose a lot of my relationships. And I was incredibly depressed as a result of, lack of nutrients and not being able to create the chemicals in my body. But also, I was depressed because all I cared about was this one very superficial aspect of my life. And there's no way you can feel good about yourself when that's all you focus on.
Oh my gosh. I mean, hearing you say that reminds me of what I went through too. Being obsessed with vanity, being obsessed with my abs and them being there or not, and like only hyper focusing on the physical.
It slowly took over my life in a way that I thought I was being healthy.
It becomes crazy what people think looks like health and what health actually is, because health is really internal and it looks different on every person.
Absolutely.
And like with Instagram, you get all these new like Instagram models and Instagram fitness instructors who look so good in a picture, and then everyone expects you to look like that.
Everything appears a certain way on Instagram, and we've both done photo shoots enough and seen the process where what happened and what I actually looked like when I walked into that photo shoot is so far from what I looked like when the picture came out.
Yeah.
It's like it takes an army. Whether you're at an award show or whether it's a photo shoot, like there's someone for hair, there's someone for styling, there's someone for makeup, there's a person for lighting, making sure the angle, there's a photographer, I mean, there's an army making sure that you look perfect.
In that one shot.
For that one photo.
If any of you guys out there feel like you're scrolling through Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, I mean, whatever is out there right now, there's so much. and you feel like you're comparing yourself to Instagram models or even our photos or something, just know that that's not everyday life. I've talked about this before. You know that Instagram is your portfolio.
It's really easy to look at social media and be like, she is perfect. I wish my face was as clear as hers. But I think even more than that, comparing lives to other people. I remember it was a holiday and I was home in Arizona and my dad was struggling with all this health stuff, and I was sitting there, it was Christmas Eve, and we weren't playing games, we weren't doing anything fun because we just were not in that state at the moment. We were at the hospital. And I remember scrolling through Insta stories and seeing everybody having the time of their lives with their family, and I was just like, man, comparison is such a cruel, thief of joy.
It is. I use that quote all the time. Comparison is the thief of joy.
It is. You suddenly lose sight of what you have.
Yeah.
And it's all a facade. People are posting moments.
Moments, the best moments.
The best moment.
I mean, comparison is a thief of joy, whether it's body comparison, life comparison, achievements comparison.
Yes.
And it's so weird because some people, they know that and they play the game. So I noticed that there are some friends that I have that will post on Facebook like, oh, just like won this award for whatever, or just, oh, just signed a contract deal, and I'm just like, and it's those things that actually make people feel bad.
Yeah.
And I think it's the way that they say it.
Yeah.
In a braggy type of way.
Yeah, there's ways of saying it where you're grateful for what you have.
Do you ever feel like the people who say that are also the people who like need to say that for their own insecurity?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head. I don't think I need to go further into it, but I do feel that a lot.
If you're actually really good at what you do, you don't need to say anything. You just do.
Right.
And I think that's what makes you like so humble, and our group of girlfriends so humble, because we just do what we do and we genuinely support one another. We're proud of each other, we respect one another, but there's no need to brag or say whatever, and jealousy. I hate all of that. That's disgusting.
I'm sure you've had those conversations where you see someone, you say, how are you doing? And they go off on a list.
Oh my god.
It's like, well, actually, I just wanted to hear like how you're doing. You know, we don't need a resume when we see people we love.
No.
You know, and it really does come across as very insecure.
The only time I resume myself is to myself when I'm feeling a lack of confidence. I don't know if you ever played this trick on yourself, but like when I was in high school, there'd be days, for example, where I would get a bad grade on a test, or somebody said something mean to me, or I lost a tennis game, and I'd just be like down in the slumps. So then I would take a moment to look back and be like, Cassie, what have you achieved up until this moment? And in my head, I'll list out, okay, you've done this, this, and this, and it kind of builds back up your confidence. Does anyone else do that?
I've done it.
Oh, you have?
I have.
Okay.
Totally. You know, I don't know if you ever saw, there was this viral YouTube video like 5 years ago where there's this little girl looking in the mirror and she's like, I like your hair. I like your outfit. You're awesome. And she's like saying these things about herself, and it was like her pep talk for the day. I visualize also the things that I'm good at sometimes to, like, you know, if I'm nervous for a performance, I'll be like, you've done this before, and I'll visualize myself doing it at my best that I know I can do. Or even if I'm nervous to go to a social event, like visualizing the kind of person that I know I can be. And
social events are really anxiety filled, I have to say.
Yeah, because you just don't want to be that person. I mean, even that moment where all of a sudden one conversation's done and you're in a networking room and you're like, who do I talk to next? It could only be a minute where you're trying to figure it out, but it's so anxiety provoking.
Were you at the first YouTube Creator Summit 3 years ago?
I wasn't.
Okay. Well, I was, and I did not know anybody. It felt like high school.
Yeah,
and,
like what lunch table do I sit at?
That is literally what happened, and I saw like some like really hot YouTubers like on another table, and I literally said to myself, I don't belong there, like don't sit there. So I took my tray. That social anxiety is for real.
It's not like it's something you leave behind in junior high. You know what I mean?
No, it's always
It may have been the worst then, because I was the most awkward for sure then, but I'm still awkward. And
I love your awkwardness.
Well, I thank you.
A lot of our insecurities really stem from picking ourselves apart, not thinking we're good enough, but you gotta find what you are good at and do more of that, and do less.
Invest in it,
Exactly, and then do less of what you don't like. And then you're gonna find your own balance, and everyone's balance is so different. I had to reevaluate, and I was like, what are these 10 or 15 pounds worth? Is it worth me not being able to run my business? Is it worth me not being able to eat out with my boyfriend and my friends? Like, no, like, okay, I'll be a little bit heavier, but who cares? Like,
I'll have my life back.
Exactly. How did you find your balance?
I actually read a book about talking logic to your eating disorder. Telling my eating disorder, actually, I don't want to agree with you right now. And I think having those internal conversations have been a huge part of helping me to find balance in my life, because your mind it can say like anything it wants. It can say you're fat, you're ugly, you're worthless, but it cannot go against reason.
Yep.
You know, you will be able to talk your mind into whatever you want it to believe. And that was hugely empowering for me when I realized that I had some control actually of what I thought.
The mind is the strongest thing.
It is.
It can control your body, so you can tell it exactly what you want it to do. For any of you guys out there who are struggling with insecurities, you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, Lindsey, what would you say would be the first step?
I would say the first step is just acknowledging the things you're grateful for. I think gratitude is one of the most healing characteristics that we have. It's the opposite of jealousy and comparison. Instead of being a thief of joy, it's like a grantor of joy when you're grateful. So I'd say focusing on the things like every single day, you know, possibly write down something, you know, a list of things you're grateful for every day. And I would say also telling yourself what you're good at, like your good qualities, and looking for them. The more you focus on those things, like if you are writing down every day what you're grateful for or what you're good at, your mind actually becomes trained to focus on that. And that's true, because I went through that, and it changes the way you think.
Journaling. Keep a journal. Make it special. Get a nice little booklet and like write down. It becomes your story. We're all here to put something different on this world, a different, unique gift. You bring the gift of music and joy and dance and happiness and your vibrant light. Hopefully I bring the gift of fitness and helping you guys reach your potential physically,
and health and confidence and beauty and self-esteem tip.
Thank you.
Just had to add my tip.
And you guys just need to figure out, what is your gift? What do you want to give to this world? I mean, I know this is a fitness channel and you want to know how to get six-pack abs and super long legs and toned arms, and that's awesome, but just remember that that is kind of a side effect of getting stronger, of becoming a better person every single day, because that's the most important thing. And I also urge you guys to surround yourself with really good people. I mean,
100%.
I am so lucky to have you in my life, to have the other Disney princesses, Rosanna, Justine, and Lily, in our lives, because we really genuinely support each other. And I just feel like life is so much more fulfilling that way. I don't care how I look or any of like that when I'm around you guys. I just care about like having fun and laughing with each other. That's like the best feeling in the world.
And I think that's when you know who your true friends are, is when you feel like you can really let your guard down, and you can be yourself, and you can be vulnerable in not only your appearance, but just in like letting them see your true colors, of not feeling like you have to put on an act.
And guys, if you're insecure, just own it. Own the insecurity, but choose to make it better, which is what we said at the very beginning of this vlog. If you don't like something, change it in a healthy way, because you have control of your life. Your mind is stronger than your body. You can tell it what you want it to do. Just do it with happiness and laugh. Yeah.
That was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, you are so welcome. And guys, if you want to watch another video with Lindsey in it, which you should, well, first of all, there's going to be another Disney princess video coming out where she plays Ariel. And then you should also watch her new music video.
It's called Lost Girls, and it's kind of supposed to be symbolic of, you know, what it's like after recovering from any sort of mental disorder, or even like it can relate to insecurities, just anything that you want to get out of, any mental trap. That's kind of what this video is symbolic of.
I feel like I'm watching a beautiful Disney movie every time I watch a Lindsey Stirling video. So you guys gotta go check it out. Her music's incredible. You're one of the most humble and talented people I've ever met, and I'm just so grateful to have you in my life.
I feel so blessed to have you in my life. It's mutual.
It's mutual. It's mutual. Alright guys, well, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Alright, bye-bye.